It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. And it's all up next.
Autumn has come to upstate New York. Fall colors abound, and we welcome you inside Highmark Stadium here in Orchard Park. But today, two AFC teams set to do battle. It should be a good one, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, here in Buffalo, they love their Bills, and for good reason. They're guys, without question, one of the favorites to lift the Lombardi Trophy in Vegas come February.
And you mentioned with good reason, because we know their quarterback is one of the best players in the league, but this is an overall team built to win, especially when we get into the playoffs. Offense, defense, coaching staff, they've been knocking on the door for a while. They want to find their way through and get to the Super Bowl.
Well, meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the rebuild under Doug Peterson is right on track. And listen, nobody's going to get wildly excited about 9-8, which they were last year. I get that. But when that comes on the heels of 3-14 and 1-15, certainly a step in the right direction.
And the biggest stride they can make this year is on defense. 28th against the pass last year, and just moving into the middle of the pack. That could buy them a couple more wins and put them in a great spot come playoff time.
On play action, Lawrence. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Now Lawrence. A short throw to Ingram. 7 yards there and a first down. So the completion there, but Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him. Because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. Here's Lawrence to throw. He's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Lawrence finding Kirk there for the Jaguar first. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Matt Milano, an all-pro last year, in on the tackle. Now second and 9. Etienne once more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He had a minimal gain on first down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on 3rd down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball 3rd time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well, my man, maybe next series. Let's try someone else on this play.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 28. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs. And he remains perfect on this opening drive. Charles now 5 of 5 and another first down to work with.
He's like one of those great shooters in basketball that has his rhythm, has his confidence, and he doesn't think anything is going to miss right now. As far as he's concerned, he's going to be perfect the entire game, and who's to say that it won't happen the way he's throwing it right now.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
this early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
We're scoreless after one. The Jags with a football to begin the second quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Now Lawrence to throw. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
Bigsby will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in position to score points with that big-time return.
We see the Bills offense take the field here at quarterback, Josh Allen.
And his task in this situation is making sure this team knows that there's a sense of urgency, yet somehow still stays calm. Because your natural impulse, your first possession is not until the second quarter, is you got to attack right away. Throw something big at them right away. Yeah, you got to move the ball, but maybe be a little bit careful in doing so.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a man in for an expanded role in 2023. It's James Cook. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this is good. It was running kind of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they are on the board, but still trailing in 7-3. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
And now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offense some more points on the board before the half.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills.
Now the ball comes loose. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. On 1st and 10, it's ETN.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
He completes it to Jones.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like he said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jags first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
And he's brought down. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville at a first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
On 1st down, Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence.
A short throw to Ingram. But I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover, but I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't win.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis. That is incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. He's going to try and go deep again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, you've certainly got to be on your toes defensively when you're facing Josh Allen. He can hit you from any angle. He's got arguably the strongest arm in the business, and he uncorks a deep one here, but that one falls incomplete.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away.
On the return, here's Agnew.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports halftime report.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay,
Final
Coach,
adjustments
thanks
being made for the
always.
second
This
half.
one's still
So with that,
anyone's game
we get
as we
back up
welcome
to
you back
Orchard Park
for quarter
and rejoin
number 3.
Brandon and Charles.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
But when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He shakes him off, losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Agnew now to return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Lawrence will throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
ETN up the...
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Man, that's a 3rd fumble for him now in this ball game. And you know the old saying, CD, once is a fluke, twice a coincidence, 3 times becoming a pattern.
3 times is a problem in this case because we've seen field goal kickers have days like this, quarterbacks occasionally. But how rare is it for us to see a running back lose it 3 times trying to carry it?
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. A solid stiff arm, and he's brought down. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 41 yards.
And the Bills have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter.
And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
But Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt.
And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
After the touchdown. Bass to kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the field.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now Lawrence on first down. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Lawrence on target there to Ridley.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Again, it's Lawrence. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Jaguars are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now Lawrence to throw on second down.
And he will find Ridley. That's complete.
Lawrence's pass complete to 0.
They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk.
Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This one from 46 yards out. The kick by McManus is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Cook up the gut.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Foreseeing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee you he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Fielded just inside the 20. 54 yards on the punt there, 15 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
Let's go.
Throwing quickly, this is caught by Kirk. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
Here we go.
Straight ahead, ETN. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it. Oh, no, he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. And my, how the tables have turned after that play. And you know what? You think back to 1978. Little history lesson here. Take us through it, Charles. You remember that.
I remember it well. Trying to run out the clock. The Giants, Joe Pizarczyk trying to hand off to Larry Zonka. The ball goes on the ground, and Herm Edwards picks it up. What do we call that?
Look it up, kids. The miracle at the Meadowlands. Extra point by Bass. Up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars trailing 17-10, a little over 80 ticks to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Lawrence. They'll set up a screen for Bigsby. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Here's 2nd down and 3. Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. Throwing now, Lawrence. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Now Lawrence, throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. Here's Lawrence. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 20-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down. A throw end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them to completion.
Back to throw, Lawrence.
Forced out to his left. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for two and go for the win. Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it, go for two.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
Now McManus for the extra point. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So that one, an 8-play drive, it spans 75 yards.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Here's 1st and 10. Now Allen. He'll let this go deep for Sherfield. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
So the Jaguars going to get possession of the football first here in this overtime session as the kick is away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Jamal Agnew. He will score. Touchdown.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking out some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Extra point from McManus is good, and they will take a 7-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Allen's throw going to be caught by Davis.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat for the 1st down. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hook up right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective breath, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down, man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime.
And how about that? In a game that's had just about everything, how's that for an answer? Remember, in the past, this game would be over already. But that's a huge play there to give him a fighting chance to go down and possibly tie this game.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And it's caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense that got 2 timeouts maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything.
And Cook will get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will tie us at 24. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Now we'll see what Lawrence can do in overtime. And he will find Ridley on the left side. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
On 3rd down, Lawrence working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Running out of the gun with ETN. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, ETN once more.
And he stopped immediately there.
It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. And the Jaguars have won the game.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Ah, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.